What's up YouTube, we're back again with a new video. If you're new here, my name is Danny James, and today I'll be showing you how to make this selective glow effect on chains or watches, basically on any accessories that an artist might be wearing on a video. I find this effect really cool, useful and versatile, as you can apply it on other things, any metallic objects that can appear in a frame. Let's say if you have a shot that has a car, you can put this on the rims or anything. So if you do end up enjoying this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's jump right into it. We're going to be working on Adobe After Effects, and I have a composition which I've already done an example so that you can follow along and replicate. So this is what it's supposed to look like. So basically what we've done a duplicate of our original video, and then on that duplicate we just added a mask. If I hit M, I can see my mask here, and then we tracked this mask through a couple of frames up to the very end, and then we added a glow effect on that mask, and then we changed the blending mode of that video. So what we're going to do, I'll delete these two duplicates so that we can start from scratch. So what we're going to do instantly, for the first clip we're going to hit Ctrl D to duplicate, and then I'll give this label a different color so that you can follow along, and then I'll also zoom in quite a bit. And for what we want to do, we want to draw a mask around this chain and track it along these few seconds. How we're going to do, just double click. We have moved from our composition to the layer tabs, and then while on this layer tab we can grab this pen tool and then draw something around. If you want, you can be as accurate as you want, but you don't really need to, so just like that. And then I'll hit M right on this clip, and then we'll change how this mask works, remove it from add and put it to none so that you can see the entire video. I can come back here, back to my selection tool, and then I'll enable keyframes for the mask path, and now we shall move a few frames. So I'm moving with my page down keys, so I'll move about 3 frames, and then I'll readjust this mask altogether. If you need to click on one point, you need to highlight that anchor point. So I'll highlight this one, and then I can now move this. If I need to move the entire mask, I'll just highlight on all of them, and then I'll move it around. I'll go page down 3 more times to go 3 frames, and then since the last time we had touched on this mask, we had selected everything, it won't change, so we'll now track it, and then I'll adjust these 2 points so that you can accommodate this lower end. Then right here it should be really simple, and then I'll go another 3 frames. I'll highlight on all these anchor points and then move it again 3 times, and then we'll keep moving. So this is pretty basic step. Yeah, so if we scroll back, we can see the mask follows this path. And if you really want to see the accuracy, you can put it on add, and then you can see how much you followed. So right now we can adjust some settings for the mask. You can up this feather a bit, so I'll make sure this feather is around this value, nearly somewhere from 100 should be good. And then you can also work with your max expansion, but I think you can come back to this after we've added the glow. Right after that step of tracking the mask, you can come to your effects and presets right here, and if you cannot find it, come to window and ensure it has been ticked off. So right now I'm working with Red Giant Universe glow. You can also use the built-in After Effects glow, it still gives you the same results, but you can add these. You can also use the sapphire glow if you do have it, it should give you the same thing. Now you can see what it looks already on this mask. It's a bit brighty, which is really what we're looking for. We shall move back from our layer and then go back to our composition. So right now we are on our composition, and then you can see everything. Again, this is a bit too conspicuous, and it also spills on the t-shirt and everything. So just come to your blending modes, change it from normal and put it to add. Now you can see there is a small difference in how it blends with the environment. It even gives it a better glow. And then right now you can come back to our intensity, and then you can adjust that glow however you want, but the default value should be okay. I said we'd come back to our mask settings. Just click here, just click on your clip, highlight on your clip, and hit M on your keyboard so that you can see the properties for the mask. If you hit M twice, it will show you all the properties for the mask. So depending on how you look at this glow, you can work with the mask expansion. You can reduce the value or raise it. So I just went to the negative value around 37, negative 37, 30s, it really blends in well, and it also takes care of the excess spillage which happens. The final step to get this glow happening, we'll just keyframe our intensity. And now that we have this keyframe for intensity, we'll just go about 2 frames using page up and page down, 2 frames, and then we shall increase that value for the intensity. And then about 3, 4, it's okay. And then we'll go 2 frames, and then we shall go back to the original value. I'll just drop down this value back to 1. So we'll go again 2 frames, then put this value to 3 point something, 3.6. That's good. After doing for the first few frames, I think I'll just copy those keyframes, go 2 frames, paste them, and then I'll copy all those keyframes, go to the last keyframe, go 2 frames, and then paste those keyframes. And now it makes the effect even look better because the glow intensifies as it goes back to a smaller version. Yeah, you might feel like the intensity is too much. There's a workaround around it. Hit T on your keyboard, and then you can reduce the opacity of this mask. You can customize it. That's the advantage of creating this duplicate. Now if we play it back, yeah, so I'm going to do the same, and then let's do on this second clip right here. Hit Ctrl D to make a duplicate, and then I'll also give it a different color. The only difference with this clip is that the artist has a chain on the neck, and he also has a watch. So we'll have to create about 2 masks, not necessarily, but it's a really creative way to enhance this effect. So again, on this duplicate, double click so that it takes us to a layer, and then you shall get our pen tool. I'll draw a quick mask using the pen tool. Make sure to have highlighted on your clip also, and then a quick mask around this. Then remember, come under your mask settings, place it on none, and then make sure we can keyframe this mask path. Always remember to keyframe the mask path. And now we shall follow the keyframes as we said. And I'll go 3 frames, 1, 2, 3, come back to my selection tool, and then I'll follow this movement, 1, 2, 3. So this seems actually fine. The reason we're also doing for the second clip is because this second clip the artist has this chain, and he also has this watch. So we shall make 2 masks, and also at some point in this video, his hand will go over the chain, and will require for it to not glow at that very moment. So let's just follow along. This looks okay. We forgot to increase this area. So let me just go back and fix. So you can see at this moment his hand comes up. So we shall go 1 frame, and then we shall lift this anchor point. Then 1 frame again. We're going to take this anchor point. We are almost making a 90-degree, but we are trying to hide this part up to that point. And then another keyframe. So we are trying to make this mask almost invisible. So then at this very point, you can see the chain starts appearing. So you can grab this anchor point back, and then drop this other one down here. And then we shall just follow along. So at this point, we're just doing the same thing we've been doing, just following. Yeah, so we are done doing this mask and tracking it. Now let's create another mask. We shall go in the beginning of this video, take this pen tool, and then we are in our layers tab already. So let's create a new mask where the watch starts appearing about right here. I'll use my page up and page down buttons to track these. Okay, so we need to change how the mask operates, put it on none, and then let's enable keyframes for the mask path so that you can track these. I'll go about 3 frames from each. And if you're really following what you're doing, you can also skip more keyframes. You don't really need to do 2 to 3 keyframes apart. You can also go 5. Like right now, I'll put it on 5 because it will follow this movement. Also try to make sure that you're working with the selection tool once you've created the mask using the pen tool, so that you can easily control it. So up to there. So we can increase the mask feather. I'll just put it around 113. And also at this point you can put the mask back to add for the 2 masks. And I'll also increase the feather for the second one. Once you're done doing this, make sure to come back to your composition so that you can begin adding the effects. So we need to add the glow. For this first clip, we used the Red Giant Universe glow. Also, the reason why we can't work with the sapphire glow tends to have issues whenever you're working with a mask. So I would want us to use the Red Giant Universe, but let's use the built-in glow that's in After Effects, and then just increase the intensity. So you can see already there's a difference. There's a different type of glow happening. I'll just increase the intensity. Also, it looks a bit red, I know. Remember, we haven't changed the blending mode. Just put it on add. You see, now it gives us a better style. Yeah. From this point, it's easy to establish whether you need to play around with the mask expansion. And as I told you, I found it better going towards the negative so that it doesn't spill over this mask. And I'll also do the same for this one, for this other mask. Anything around negative 30, that's okay. So I'll collapse this, and then at this very moment you can also add keyframes for intensity. So let's create that keyframe, and then back on this clip, hit U. We had adjusted our glow intensity to around 3.2 and the maximum is 4. So the best way to approach this would be to start at, let's start at 4 and then go 2 frames later on, put it back to 0, and then another 2 frames, put it on max, and then 2 frames back to 0. So it will go from 0 to 4, 0 to 4. So, and from this moment now you can copy these keyframes. After this keyframe, I'll go 1, 2, paste, and then I'll copy all the keyframes, come here, go 1, 2, paste, 2 frames, and then Control V. So let's look at it. Also, let's try to click and drop down. Click somewhere random so that these masking points can leave. Yeah, okay, that's good, but you can see when it comes to the keyframes, the inbuilt glow doesn't really cut it. So, and that's why I really enjoyed us working with the other one. So I'll just disable this one, and then I'll come to my original other clip which we did this. I'll copy this Red Giant Universe glow effect right here. Let me see if it comes with the keyframes. Yeah, I can see the keyframes are right here. I'll just highlight and then push them right here. And since they need to continue, I'll copy them, come here at the very end, go 2 frames, paste, and then you can delete the excess. So let's look at it. Yeah, so you can see it has that flashing which tries to dim as it flashes, and that's why I really like the Red Giant Universe plugin. It gives you very many options and variety. So that's it. Let me just play this video from the top so that you can see and compare. Yeah, and that's it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed that bit. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching all the way through. In case you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, kindly leave them on the comment box, and I'm really happy to interact with you guys. My name is Danny James. See you in the next video. Cheers.